I think the Steelers are making a monumental mistake that they don't even realize yet in waiting for Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers is a Band-Aid on a situation that needs surgery. This beat is hard. I know you about to be on Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be pop locking on this. Hold on, Acho, catch me.
Oh, come on.
One more time. That beat, okay, back to Aaron Rodgers. That beat was just, oh my God. Okay, look, Coleman, kill the music so I can focus.
Yeah, he's still playing it.
Please.
He's still playing it.
Right, please. Thank you. James, I think the Steelers are making a monumental mistake waiting on Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is a Band-Aid on a situation that needs reconstructive surgery, which is the quarterback position. Aaron Rodgers is going to give you a 10 to 12-month stopgap on a situation that needs a 10 to 12-year solution. If you really think about it, and I heard this, the Steelers were supposed to be going to Michigan's Pro Day. But they heard Aaron Rodgers was coming in to take a visit. So instead of going to Michigan's Pro Day, where the Steelers could have scouted a defensive tackle in which they need, Michigan produces defensive tackles by the masses, instead of scouting a cornerback, which they obviously need opposite JPJ, shout out to Darius Slay, a veteran there, instead of scouting Will Johnson, a top 2 or 3 cornerback in the draft, they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. They've ostracized Russell Wilson. They've ostracized Jameis Winston. They've ostracized so many quarterbacks because they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. And now you're not looking into the future, going to a pro day where you could have watched your next 10 to 15-year starters work out. Instead, you're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers still hasn't made a decision. So to me, Jay, waiting on Aaron Rodgers is a monumental mistake that I don't even know if they realize they're making right now.
Emmanuel Acho.
Not my government.
You have laced up the cleats. You have been in these buildings. You have been up on the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, whatever these offices are in
Texas,
Cleveland, in Philly. Now, you know it's a bunch of scouts in that Steelers building.
That's true.
A couple of them was at that Michigan. The head coach and all that may not have been there, but a couple of them scouts was there. But what do you do, Acho? If you're the Steelers, what do you do? You're telling us you don't want Russell Wilson. So what do you do?
Ultimatum. I'd give him an ultimatum only because I would want Aaron Rodgers to know, hey, you're on our time. Yeah. We're not on your time. But to your point, can a multi-build? Exactly right. That's the dilemma.
Exactly. But it's too late because you already showed Aaron Rodgers we are waiting on you. We done told all these quarterbacks no. We done told Russell Wilson no. We done lost out on all these quarterbacks. So the only option left to do if you want to try to have a productive season is to bring in Aaron Rodgers. So you have to wait on him. You have to wait on Aaron Rodgers. There's no quarterback in the draft that you're going to get that's going to walk into your building and help your team win games right now because you are not picking high enough to get Shador or Cam Ward. So they have put themselves in position to where they have to wait on Aaron Rodgers. So in my humble opinion, they are not making a mistake. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback left out there to help a team win football games. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a team right now. They are not in a rebuild. They have guys in T.J. Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick that can play the game at a high level. You just go out there and you pay one of the best receivers in the game and DK Metcalf, give him $130 million to go on the other side of George. You got a really good tight end in Freiermuth, and we're going to go out here with Mason Rudolph, or a quarterback that's not proven to help you win any games. I do not believe they are making a mistake, but they have put themselves in this position to where they have to wait on Aaron.
Yeah, the Steelers don't have a choice. Like what do you want them to do? Like, roll with Mason Rudolph? Respectfully, I love backup quarterbacks because I was one. But you're not getting anywhere with Mason. Like, you're not making a true run at it. Yeah. I don't think this moves the needle too much for the Steelers to get to the Super Bowl, but they need a starter. And quite honestly, they put themselves in this situation. Mm-hmm. They put themselves in this situation because you offered Sam Darnold, but not enough money. You offered Justin Fields, but not enough money. Now you're on to your third option. In your fourth option, you're looking at Russell Wilson. And obviously, they've told us they don't want Russell Wilson. So right now, it's Aaron Rodgers or bust. And quite honestly, they're going to have to get to a number that they're probably not comfortable with to bring in Aaron Rodgers because in this situation, the Steelers have all the leverage. The Steelers have all the leverage. Aaron Rodgers has all the leverage. Excuse me. Aaron Rodgers has all the leverage because they need him way more than he needs them. And quite honestly, I agree with James. He is the quarterback right now that I look at this free agent class and I say, this guy could probably do the most damage. Now, they have other situations. They have other areas of the team that they need to address.
Correct.
Like they need those D tackles, they need those corners, and they still sent people there to the pro day. But I think this meeting on Friday at the facility was like a first date. Like, hey, we know what you can do on the field, all right? So let's fill you out off the field. I guarantee you they didn't even talk much scheme. I bet it was like, how are you going to handle this? Are you going to do Pat McAfee? Are you going to, because that's a big deal though. Like truly, like you know what you're going to get on the field, right? But what are you going to get off the field? Are you going to come in, and I don't think he's going to come in under Mike Tomlin and be like, hey, you can just do this, and you can do that, you can do that. And quite honestly, I think this is the right move for the Steelers at this juncture because they put themselves in this situation.
It's crazy that we all play the game, right? And for a couple years too, right? And we all can see the game so different, right? Because I think the Steelers are making
That's what we love about the locker room.
They're making a huge mistake just waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Some of you guys said earlier, man, you guys keep talking about how like they know what he can do on the field, and you're saying that he's the best quarterback to win games. That's what you just said, correct? And that's what you just said, right? As I look at it,
5 games.
Look at the Steelers team. I look at Aaron Rodgers. I look at Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. It's not a big difference. The team is not that good. I watched them last year. Defense, they've always been a defensive team. The defense was not that good late to the middle to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, playmakers. No playmakers in the backfield. Let's be honest. I watched them last year. I didn't see no explosion, right? Offensive line plays, not that good. True. So I don't know how much Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball here and there with the line not that good. And then I look at it like, okay, so is there a huge difference between Russ and Aaron? I don't think so, right? And you guys are saying that right now, but I think the Jets was in the same position. Mm-hmm. Do we need Aaron Rodgers? And they said yes. Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers gave the Jets, because I don't know if y'all forgot or not. I think you guys are still back in like 7, 8 years ago when Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers. He's not that no more, fellas. Let me tell you this is what he gave the Jets. Jets gave him everything he needed.
I remember.
He gave the Jets 2 years. The Jets gave him $75 million. That's what they gave him. They gave him.
Good for that, brother.
Think about this for a second. $75 million, right? And Aaron gave them 18 starts, 6-12. Last year gave them 5 wins. Yeah. So the guy y'all keep saying that they need to wait on, do they? Do you need that? Yeah. Because where I'm from, dog, that ain't winning football.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, to Shady's point, the Aaron Rodgers that I believe the Steelers are waiting on doesn't exist anymore. Driving into work, I was looking at social media, and there was this clip of 2003, Kanye West was showing a music producer, All Falls Down, the demo. Yeah. And he had to take his mouthpiece out. He just had, I think, the jaw surgery, and he was rapping it. And I was like, that Kanye doesn't exist anymore. That 2003 version of Kanye, that person is no longer walking this earth. This Aaron Rodgers, that 2019-20 Aaron Rodgers, he don't exist no more, big dog. That mobility doesn't exist. That was the MVP back-to-back.
Yeah,
both of them.
So mobility you're taking.
Yeah. Okay. Like, that mobility Aaron Rodgers doesn't exist anymore. I don't believe that Aaron Rodgers' ability to extend plays at that magnitude, I don't think it exists anymore. I don't think the Aaron Rodgers that has that elite zip. Yeah. Obviously still has zip on the football. I'm talking about that elite one-of-one zip. That Rodgers doesn't exist anymore. I would wait on 2019, 2020 Aaron Rodgers. I'm not waiting on the Aaron Rodgers we saw in 22, 23,
like they just
24.
love Aaron Rodgers.
You guys on the right side of the desk. Mm-hmm.
Like the accurate side of the desk?
Yeah.
Like, right?
Well, easy on the accurate.
Why you never told Chase what they called me?
What they call you?
98.6. You didn't tell him?
What 98.6?
What's that?
No, they do not, sir.
What'd they say?
On most questions, I'm 98.6% right.
Your body temperature right?
Don't let him mess your take.
98.6% right.
We defended 12 over here, man.
It's simple as economics, man. There's supply and demand.
Yes, sir.
Right now in the market, there's Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco,
Kirk Cousins, would you say?
Kirk Cousins, I don't think they're going to trade for him, spend 38.
Let's just say Aaron and Russ.
So Aaron and Russ. We'll say Aaron and Russ. The Steelers have made it abundantly clear they don't want Russ. Yeah. That's what you guys are forgetting on this. Like, right, wrong, and different. Like, do I think that Russ should have a chance to go back? Yeah. But that's not the situation that the Steelers are in. Mm-hmm. They have pushed Russ out the door. They have pushed all their chips in the table around Aaron Rodgers. So the Steelers, how can you make a mistake at this point waiting on him? Because quite honestly, they're not going to go into the season with Mason Rudolph as the starter.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think this takes him out of the quarterback market in the draft. Like, if Jackson Dart or one of these guys somehow, some way falls to 21, I think the Steelers are absolutely taking a guy. And I still think Aaron Rodgers is going, but right now in the market, that's what you have to go off of. So they're not making it. Because you say, Russ, I'm like, yeah, we might think that, but the team doesn't think that. They're all in on
that's why we said they make a mistake. But you got the quarterback, so we got to ask the quarterback a question. Yeah. So if you're saying that they should take Aaron Rodgers, now last year they won 10 games, right?
10.
10 games, and it was the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if Aaron Rodgers is quarter, what do they do? I want to ask you, like, what's the record? What's the difference? Y'all two.
What's the record? So,
what's the record?
Justin
for me,
Fields
it's just
went.
getting into the playoffs.
Justin Fields went 4-5.
4-2.
4-2. And
Why are we using him, though?
But I'm just saying.
Did he start the whole season?
Because he didn't start the whole season.
But
Russell Wilson came in and went 6-5. I believe he is 1-4 the last 5 games, something like that. So they didn't win a lot of games toward the end. So the difference is you at least get the same guy to have the starter for the whole year. Okay, I don't think they should have went away from Justin. When it was smart, okay, because they won a lot of games. But toward the end of the year, Russ sort of struggled. And I think that end of the year struggle really said, hey, the Steelers saying, let's move on.
So on that, hold on real quick, because like, I dislike when we'll say one part of the story and not the other. Yeah. So you are right. You are right that Russ struggled a little bit. Now, what else to happen in the end of the
defense?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I mean, and they played a juggernaut of a schedule.
They were
juggernaut of a
harder schedule because they was battling with the Colts. Yeah. And Justin Fields lost that game for them. But I'm talking about real quick, because the defense was bad. Yeah. Teams was averaging 30-something points. Yeah. And we talk about the Steelers' defense, and we want to give that to Russ?
No doubt.
Instead of saying the real issue was, Russ, he didn't play great, but he played well enough to win. Yeah. And the defense played bad. Yeah. And Justin Fields would not have saved them dudes over there.
I'm going to trust the only head coach to never have a losing season.
Number one,
you know what I mean?
The Steelers is going to the playoffs no matter what. That's just what Coach Tomlin does. No matter who plays quarterback, they go to the playoffs no matter what. I don't know why they out on Russell Wilson. That still surprised me right now why they out on Russell Wilson. I do not know. But what I do know is they believe Aaron Rodgers gives them the best chance to win. Point blank period over Russell Wilson. So for me, the only reason why this move is going to be made and they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers is because they think he gives them help in the playoffs. That's the only reason, because Russ took you there.
So my question, though, is this. Like, we all have our own minds because we all played the game as well. Shout out to what Mike Tomlin and everybody in the Steelers organization has done, but I respect y'all's opinions equally. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers has shown you to lead you to believe he would do something differently. The Steelers' last 5 games, Eagles, Super Bowl champ.
Very good team.
Ravens.
Very good team.
Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. Bengals, you could have beat them. Obviously, they were playing
rolling at that point.
And then Ravens again. So if Aaron Rodgers is on the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's not beating the Eagles. Remember, the Eagles didn't even give the Steelers really the ball back. Like, he's not beating the Eagles. He's not beating the Ravens, more than likely. He's not beating the Chiefs. He could have beat the Bengals. Bengals are beatable, but they were rolling to your point, and he's not beating the Ravens in the playoffs.
Well, nobody's beating them the way the defense is playing neither, though.
That's what I'm getting at.
We're talking about the Steelers as a team. In that stretch right there, the Steelers as a team was not good.
Correct.
Right? Now, Russ didn't elevate everybody's play and dominate a football game. He didn't do that. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers can do that neither.
Thank you.
But it's something that the Pittsburgh Steelers is saying Aaron Rodgers can do. You know what's crazy? I remember Aaron Rodgers said a comment. He said, man, you know, my worst year is some of these dudes' best years.
And he was right.
And he's top 10 in touchdowns and passes this year. But the way the Jets went, we are sitting here saying Aaron Rodgers can't play football. We can't do that to Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, the Steelers are saying when they turn on the tape, mobility may not be there like 27-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and ain't nobody gonna have the mobility when you're 41 and then you're 27. But obviously, they are seeing something to where he can make this team better, arm talent-wise, with the people they have around him.
But you might be right with that. He might have the arm talent, but he can't save a team. We watched it. We just watched it. We just watched the Jets. Yeah. And I don't know how much you think the Jets' defense is comparable to the
Jets tender. I can't argue.
But I'm just saying, but that's what he plays for. He doesn't play for the Green Bay Packers no more. What I'm saying is, if you look at the Jets' defense in that team, they're comparable defense-wise to the Steelers, right? Yeah. And he couldn't give them more than 5 wins. Yeah. And you telling me that he can do all this?
They're not coached like the Steelers.
I just think, and then real quick, and he named these teams, right? Because we keep talking about how Justin Fields did so well in the beginning, which played the weaker teams and did a whole bunch of field goals. When they played the harder schedule, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Ravens, I don't think Aaron Rodgers, if he's that quarterback, with that line, with that defense, he's not winning them games.
But obviously they telling us he can help them win more than us.
And we've seen a lot of organizations make bad decisions. People forget that they are human too, though.
Guys, and that's what I was going to speak to.
They're making a bad move.
Because the Steelers organization, and you've talked about this, and I've talked about this, we all talked about this, Mike Tomlin and the quarterback situation. It's not been the same since Ben Roethlisberger's left. They've had Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and now Aaron Rodgers. It's a revolving door at quarterback, and they have never gotten that right since Ben Roethlisberger has been the starter. That's the situation, and that's why I started my take with they put themselves in this situation because they have not drafted well. They have not gone out there and scouted well. They have not signed free agents that are multi-year starters. Justin Fields started 6 games. Russell Wilson started, 11. So that is the problem, and that is why the Steelers are in this situation.
Another question for you, quarterback, because at the Steelers, you could suggest, had 2 starting quarterbacks on their roster last year. I believe Russell Wilson and Justin Fields will likely start in the 2025 season. You had 2 starting quarterbacks on your roster last year, and you don't like either of them?
Well,
to me, that's problematic. Like, you don't like either of them. To me, there's a bigger Steelers issue here, James Jones, because Justin Fields is, somebody thinks he's good enough to start, right? Some organization. Russell Wilson, somebody will think he's good enough to start. Whether it's the Giants, we'll get there later in the show. Whether it's the Browns, we'll get there later in the show. So at the point in which Justin Fields is good enough to start, and Russ is good enough to start, but y'all don't end up with either of them. Y'all want Aaron Rodgers. What did Rodgers show you last year that was so much different than Russ or Justin?
Aaron Rodgers is a way better thrower of the football than them dudes, right? So this is the thing. You had 2 different quarterbacks. You had one that runs all the time. You didn't like him. You got one in Russell Wilson that comes in there, one of the best deep throwers of the football that we ever seen, and now you are sitting here telling us you don't like a guy that can throw the football and can't move. What do you like? Obviously, it's something that Aaron Rodgers is showing them on tape that they say, man, he fits perfect in our system.
Is it
gotta be something.
Is it that or is it nostalgia? Because if I were to ask you, Jay, like, hey, what's your favorite music group of all time? You would probably say
Jagged Edge.
When the last time Jagged Edge put out an album?
It's been a long time.
Exactly my point.
Edge.
Like, but the fact of the matter is, you grew up on that. Mike Tomlin grew up on Aaron Rodgers balling. Mike Tomlin saw Aaron Rodgers in a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we beat them.
And y'all beat him.
Yeah.
So Mike Tomlin grew up on Aaron Rodgers balling. So just like you would suggest Jagged Edge is your favorite of all time, I think Mike Tomlin is stuck.
So if I hear you
2010,
11,
correctly,
12 you guys are saying Aaron Rodgers don't give the Steelers a chance to win at all.
Not a better chance than Russ.
I don't think it's a big difference. That's what I'm at. I'm not trying to argue who's better out of Aaron Rodgers and Russ. I think Aaron's probably better thrower, but right now they really in the same boat. Maybe Aaron's a little bit better than him. What I'm saying is, you telling me if he's on that Steelers team, he gonna make a big difference like that?
Yeah.
What, do they win 2 more games now?
Maybe.
Would they win a playoff game? You get what I'm saying?
Look,
no, they don't.
We don't know.
You're talking about nostalgia and all this stuff. You're overthinking it. Sometimes as analysts, we like to overthink. It's very simple. The Steelers have laid out their plan. They missed out on their first 2 options, and Aaron Rodgers is the fallback plan. There's no nostalgia about it. They need a quarterback under center. This is a Band-Aid. This is a Band-Aid. He's going to be there for a year, and then they're going to draft a guy, and they're going to continue this cycle. It's not nostalgia, dog. It's literally just like the next guy.
But Chase, real quick, Chase, we can't let James Jones ask no more questions. His brothers asked him, hey, what's your favorite group of all time?
Jagged Edge.
That's like something my mom would say. Jagged Edge.
Anyways,
Last question, Jay. Last question.
Out of these 3 quarterbacks entering into free agency, who was the best one?
What 3? Which 3?
Fields, Russ, Rodgers.
Well, it depends on the fit scheme. So obviously,
for the
Arthur
Steelers,
Smith,
who's the best quarterback?
I thought it was Justin Fields, and they offered him first because I liked what Justin did.
Meet me at your.
I at least think there's a little bit of a ceiling up.
Let's get married.
That's a great song.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.